how do you do it? It's pretty simple. It's just narrowing your diet down to the very bare minimum, and then adding in those things that you discover are good for you, that they don't cause adverse effects. In my case, I take it to what works, or what I have found to work, which is primarily a carnivore diet. And then adding back things one at a time so that I know exactly how each thing affects me. That is my form or method of the process of elimination. Your approach may possibly be different. Perhaps you're a vegan and you want to go to what you know does not affect you adversely. Is really the key. And then adding back one item at a time. To give you an example, a few years ago, I woke up one morning with extreme vertigo. I mean, to the point where literally I couldn't lift my head off the pillow without going into a spin. The whole world was spinning. At the same time, I couldn't lay down flat because my head was spinning. And everything that I did caused issues and problems. If I tried to move, it would cause my head to spin. So initially what I did was I did what I was able to do, which was very, very little. I was able to make it to the bathroom, but I had to do it on my hands and knees. It actually made me vomit. The motion did. As a result of that experience, I had heard of a procedure called the Epley procedure, had tried to work it, and it would provide moderate results, but somehow I knew that it had to do with something that I was drinking or eating. So the first thing that I did was I started going back through the last 48 hours of what I had changed in my diet. And as a result, I discovered that part of the problem was, and I don't even remember what the product exactly was, but I do know that it was kind of like a carbonated beverage that I'd started drinking. And I linked this vertigo to that carbonated beverage. Over the course of the next 48 hours, I eliminated that carbonated beverage, went back to what I knew would be the safe things to eat and drink, which was basically iced tea, no sweetener, and just my meat diet. And within 48 hours, the vertigo was completely eliminated. I've never experienced it again. I've also never drank that carbonated beverage. So one of the things that I've mentioned, one of the things that I do is I check my blood pressure twice a day, morning and evening. And the way that I typically do that is with a wrist blood pressure machine. Simply straps to your wrist, has a simple button, it's battery charged so I can plug it in, and then I let it tell me what my blood pressure is. The key to this is keeping the machine at about heart level. I typically have a pillow under my arm and I'm not talking. I'm very relaxed, which is recommended by the the manufacturers of the blood pressure machine. It's kind of hard for me to do this while I'm talking because that stresses me out. In fact, it just air it out, which happens occasionally. Still airing. Well, there's my reading from this morning, 124/79. It's good for anybody. The average, they say, is 120/80. So anything within about 15 points on the big number, your top number, the systolic number, is good. Anything within about 5 points on the bottom number, the diastolic number, is good. So let's say, as an example, you might be 135/85. That's still within an acceptable range. When it gets scary, and a couple of times in the past, I've had as high as 215/130. That's really high blood pressure, and that's when it gets really scary. But learning how to do that, how to regulate it, how to make it work, make it stable at a 124/79 as an example, and make it consistently low like that, is the key to good health.